Train the muscles, not the joints.
So I'm going to do some lat pull downs and then just a seated cable row movement. Just again, get a nice pump in the back or whatever. But these are the type of pumping movements I can't really do at home because I'm restricted to free weights mostly. But yeah, the lat pull down is not necessarily superior to the pull up, but it's something different. The tension is different. The constant tension is different. You can get a different angle of attack. Whereas when you're doing a pull up, you're kind of stuck in a certain angle in which your body determines the groove, you know what I'm saying? Because your feet are hanging down and there's a certain amount of weight that forces you into a different position, where with the cable you can start to adjust throughout the movement a little bit differently than you can with a pull-up, right? But either way, you'll notice if you do one or the other, you might have a preference for one or the other, but that's because one is definitely different than the other. So yeah, I just like to stick with about 15 to 20 reps for the most part when it comes down to this exercise. Sometimes I go heavier, sometimes lighter, but anywhere above 15 reps feels right. Because what I'm trying to do is just get a nice burn and stretch in the lat. Now, the other misnomer about lat pull downs is people think you have to go all the way up in order to get a stretch in the lat. But the truth is that if your elbow's a bit forward and you come up to here, that's pretty much where the optimal stretch in the lat is. Once I start doing this coming up, you'll notice there's a certain amount of internal rotation that naturally happens that also contracts the lat. So one could say you're actually not stretching it as much when you come all the way up, as opposed to just staying in this position, right? Because you're starting to contract it a little bit. So these are the little kind of tweaks that a lot of people don't understand. But again, if you follow the feeling rather than the idea, you're going to pretty much figure it out on your own. Nice. Now the other thing that some people get mixed up too is they think the arm has to be above the head, behind the head, in order for the lat to get engaged. But I've found more in front and constant motion like that is more where the lat will get engaged. Once you start going above here, you go beyond the lat capability of keeping that stretch, and then you start internally rotating, right? In order to get the hands here. You can't keep the elbows internally rotated and get right above your head. So it's not necessarily the most ideal area to get the lat. All right, one more set of these, and then I'm going to do some cable rows, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to just experiment, just try something out. I just saw something and thought, hey, I'll just experiment with this other movement just for fun. And I'll take you guys along for the ride. I don't even know if I'm going to like the movement. Honestly, I don't even know, but I'm going to try it out and see. And it might be more of a rear delt movement than a back movement, but I'm going to try it out and find out. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? How's the saying go? Around and find out. That's kind of what I do. I fuck around and I find out. That's what happens. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing lightweight, but across the body. And this is going to be weird and different, but you know what? Sometimes you got to play around to see what happens, right? So here we go. so good. I feel that pretty good. Some delt coming in now. Yep, a lot of delt too. All right, so I do like that. It does pump up the back end, the delts, the rear delts actually quite a bit. But the reason why I like it is just that it stretches in a different way. And so you don't need a lot of weight, but sometimes just hitting these different angles sometimes is the right thing. So it's good to do the basics, but sometimes you can get just that little tweak or that little stretch just from changing up a minor angle like this. So if your delts are weak, this is definitely something to try. And if you can't feel your lats, maybe this is a trick for you. Maybe you're going to feel the lats doing this. So yeah, try it out. Stick that chest out on the way up. It's a good idea. Get that back in. A lot of rear delt though, definitely. That's what I suspected. Oh, nice. So I'm going to be doing some calf raises here. Just, it's like, they basically like donkey, right? I'm not going to use super heavy weight, but another problem we have in this gym is there's not really enough 45-pound plates to go around. So if you get one or two people using heavy weight, that's it. You're pretty much shit out of luck. So the only downside I find of working out at some gyms if they don't have enough weights around. But otherwise, this is a neat angle and allows me to challenge the calves in a different way. And I like to be able to do 2 legs at a time too. That gets it over with fast. All right, I found a few more plates. So I got 5 plates aside here, which is decent. Like I said, I never get a chance to do any heavy weight with calves, so a little bit heavier with calves when I'm at the gym is a good idea. Nice. It's a good rep range. I like that. So a mistake I see a lot of people making is that they'll kind of do a little bit about what I just did, you know? Like I went to a main movement, like say lat pull down, and then I went to a specialty movement. And I find that specialty movements only matter if you're doing the main movements or the main types of heavier movements to offset that, right? Because what's the point of specializing in little muscle groups if you haven't trained the big muscle groups, right? So you don't get too obsessed with specializing and stuff. It's just that sometimes it's good to work with a different angle if that's helpful to get you to learn that mind muscle connection. But in the end, I mean, you know, the main compounds and the main movements is really going to be where you're going to get the most of your results. And then from there, you can start to tweak things and find different angles and see if there's some extra muscles that you can recruit from getting creative, right? Okay, all right, that's it. Then I'm done for workout today. I got some chest, some back, a couple different angles for chest and back, and a different angle for biceps, and then a different angle for calves. So that's the benefit. So it's nice to come here once or twice a week or whatever, and then work out at home the rest of the time, because I can somehow get these kind of creative angles in. And you know what? It's not necessarily just for results, but also for motivation, because doing something different can sometimes help with that as well, right? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. And yeah, if you need to go home, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com and take care for now. Mountain.